This is the PickBits Daily Signal for Friday, July 31st, your signal in the day's tech noise. Here's the lineup. 1. Nvidia just drew a line through Enterprise AI, standing up a 37-member security alliance and leaving OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google outside the tent. 2. If you have ever used hims or hers, the FTC says the private health details you typed in may have gone straight to Meta and Snap. 3. The open source code sitting inside your apps got turned into a weapon again after North Korea slipped malware into a package downloaded 100 million times a week. And 4, on the brighter side, an AI trained to make one life or death call in the ICU may have found a real gap in how we keep the sickest patients alive. Let's get into it. This is the PickBits Daily Signal. Story 1. For 2 years, open versus closed AI was a fight researchers had among themselves. This week, 37 companies turned it into a membership list. On July 27th, Nvidia and 36 other companies, Microsoft, IBM, Red Hat, CrowdStrike, the Linux Foundation, lined up behind one idea.
The new coalition is called the Open Secure AI Alliance, and its aim is to develop and share tools to build trustworthy cybersecurity defense systems.
3 labs with the most capable closed models, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google, are pointedly not in the room. OpenAI and Google put their names on a side letter about openness, then stopped short of joining. Anthropic is not on either list. And that snub is the whole story. Nvidia's pitch is aimed straight at you. You should be able to open up the AI you depend on and run it on your own hardware, instead of only reaching it through a vendor's closed door. Now, I'll be straight about the other read. Nvidia sells the chips that self-hosted AI runs on, so open is safer is also open is good for Nvidia. Both things are true at once. But strip the motive away and the signal stands. The vendors you already pay are declaring in public which side of that line they build on. So this week, pull up your own security stack and note who joined and who stayed out. That split tells you whose roadmap assumes you get to look inside. Follow this one. The line just got drawn in public, and it is not moving back. Story 2. The promise on a health intake form is a simple one. What you type in stays private. On Wednesday, the FTC, joined by California and Utah, walked into a federal court and said the quiet part out loud.
As well. According to FTC, hims and hers shared users' health information with advertising companies, which included Meta and Snap, despite telling customers that the data was
The company denies all of it and calls the suit unsupported. Its stock still fell about 10% the day it landed. Here is what makes this land differently than the usual privacy headline. This is not a leak or a breach. The claim is that a company millions of people trusted with intimate medical details turned those details into targeting data on purpose. The complaint also says they charged some people before a doctor ever weighed in, then made the subscription hard to cancel. Now, an allegation is not a verdict, and hims will get its turn to answer, but the useful move does not wait for the ruling. This week, go into your Meta and Snap settings and switch off off-platform activity and add personalization, because that is the exact plumbing the FTC says was used. And keep an eye on the docket, because a settlement here becomes the rulebook every other health app gets held to next. Follow the case, and if someone you know filled out one of those forms, send this their way. Story 3. The next time your build pulls the latest version of a package, it could be pulling one North Korea rewrote. This crew has done it before. On Thursday, Amazon's threat team put a name on the pattern, North Korea's Sapphire Sleet crew, the same group tied to more than $2 billion in stolen crypto last year. Their newest target was Axios, a small piece of code downloaded more than 100 million times a week and sitting inside countless enterprise apps. Here is exactly how they got in.
Compromised on March 31st. A threat actor stole the lead maintainer's publishing credentials, pushed 2 poison versions to NPM, and injected a cross-platform remote access Trojan that targeted...
Every one of these compromises started the same way, with a real, trusted maintainer, not a fancy new exploit. The attacker did not break a lock. They befriended the person who holds the key, then let your own automatic updates carry the payload the rest of the way. The earlier Debug and Chalk hijack hit an estimated 10% of cloud environments inside 2 hours doing exactly that. So, a couple of moves this week. First, audit your dependency tree for Axios, Debug, and Chalk, and pin them to the versions Amazon flagged. The one I would actually insist on, though, is killing blind auto updates in your build so a poisoned release cannot walk straight into production. And the habit worth keeping. Treat a surprise maintainer change on a critical package as an incident, not a footnote. Send this to whoever owns your build pipeline. Follow the thread. Story 4, and this is the one to end on. An AI told ICU doctors how to dose their sickest patients. When those doctors went their own way, far more of the patients died. That is the finding from a study out this month, and I want to hold it carefully because the honest version matters more than the scary one. Sepsis is the body's runaway response to an infection, and it moves fast. Catching it early is exactly where AI keeps showing up.
Among other conditions. Now, artificial intelligence, or AI, has surfaced as a new predictive tool to help rapidly detect sepsis. Using AI algorithms.
New study went one step further than detection. Researchers built what they call a causal AI, one that models cause and effect instead of just patterns, for a single brutal decision. How much blood pressure medication to give in the first 6 hours of septic shock? Tested across 2 large hospital databases of real ICU patients, they found that when a doctor's actual dose drifted from the model's recommendation, the odds of dying in the hospital ran more than 5 times higher. Now here is the caveat the researchers put first, and so will I. This is a preprint, not yet peer-reviewed, and it is an association in old records, not proof that following the AI saves lives. It is a reason to run the real trial, not to hand the dial to a machine tonight. So watch this one, because if it holds up, it is the good kind of AI news. That's the signal. I'll see you tomorrow.